It was an emotionally fueled battle here at Beaver Stadium. You could feel the urgency all game long. But it's the Buckeyes that snagged the win, a much needed win for Ryan Day, who has felt the pressure to beat a top 5 team. And after the game, you could see the relief on his face. And he said the team didn't want the world to know that they knew how big this game was and how it meant so much with the playoff implications on the line.
We were at a crossroads. This was a big game for us. We didn't really want to publicly say that, but we said that behind closed doors. And it's a big game for us for a lot of reasons. I mean, there's a lot that goes with being the head coach of Ohio State, and you can say ignore everything that goes on, but your players read it, your coaches read it, your staff members read it, your families read it, and you got to stay strong in those moments. But to get a top 5 win like this on a road in a tough environment, moving Donnie over to left tackle. And we felt like going into this game it was going to be a difficult environment. We knew we had to win the rushing yards. Obviously, turnover battle was going to be big, and then X plays. And so we had to really focus on those things. But at the end of the day, we had to find a way to get a stop and get that extra first down or score. And that's what it's going to come down to. And so I think this is going to build us moving forward. But for our guys to get this win is going to go a long way. But that entire team, our families, they all believe. And so to go do that and accomplish that, what we did today in this game in a top 5 victory, it feels good right now. Now, we still got a lot of football ahead of us, but yeah, right now it feels good. And I'm proud of our team, and I'm proud of our coaching staff.
But Coach Day says he felt a win from Will Howard all week long, saying there was just a look in his eye. It's his home state, and he was just not going to lose this game.
And he had a look in his eye all week that he was not going to lose this game. Whether it was because it was a top 5 team or it was from the state of Pennsylvania and a place that he grew up, wanted to be a Nittany Lion. I think all that probably played into it. He just refused to lose, and that mentality helped us win today.
Going into this game, Will said that he knew they would have to will their way through it, and that is exactly what they did.
That was huge. We willed ourselves to win that game. That was. We put the ball on Q and Trey and O-line back and let them win the game for us, man. And I mean, I think we're averaging like 5 yards a carry on QB sneak right now. Like our O-line is unbelievable at that. So like, I mean, just getting the ball out, being able to. The biggest thing on that drive, I think, was that quarterback sneak on the first play. Getting the ball out to the 5-yard line from the 1 on a QB sneak is huge. And that we always talk about getting it out past the 5, and then another a couple big runs by Q and Trey, and man, that was huge. That was huge.
Will said that this was the worst game he's played all season, and he acknowledged the mistakes he made early, including a pick 6.
I probably played my worst game of the year. Just right now, walking off the field. Man, I was just like, hey, I made this a little harder than it should have been on myself and us. But the mindset can't change, man. You gotta just continue to. If you let that play affect the next play, that's when it becomes a problem. Because as much as I'd love to go back and change that play up, and see it in its own and not throw that ball, I would. But how you respond is how you have to come back.
But he redeemed himself, sliding in the final seconds to seal the win. As Coach Day laughs at how that is justified after he slid to seal the loss at Oregon.
Yeah. I didn't think of it like that. I thought he was just going to continue to run. But what he gives us is a toughness in quarterback, and having him as a weapon running the ball. You saw the run that he had when the ball squirted out. I mean, that was a really executed play, really well executed play. Trevion had an unbelievable block on that play, so it was gut wrenching because it was so well executed. Guys were getting after people and finishing everybody to the ground, and the ball squirts out on the 1-yard line, and it's literally like taking a shot right to the stomach. But there's nothing you can do. You got to regroup and keep playing, and that's a sign of somebody who is resilient, who's been through it before, and he willed it to happen. He did.
But the biggest concern going into this game, and really all season, has been the offensive line. The offense was very grateful for how the offensive line stepped up today and allowed the run to take off.
We willed that game. We talked about it early in the week, man. So we're going to have to will ourselves to win this game. Like, there's no way we're going to be able to lose. And that was the way we played, man. The defense stepped up. I mean, two huge stops, man, right on the goal line. I mean, that changed the game, man. And the O-line, I mean, all the stuff they took during the week, and all the flack that they were getting, for them to step up the way that they did, for us to run the ball and keep the ball in our hands and win the game with the ball in our hands, I mean, that's unbelievable, man. And just being able to scrape out a win like that, it's not pretty. You know, they're a good football team. I do believe that, and they did some good things. I did some bad things. You know, I believe if you take away the pick and the turnover in the end zone, it's probably like 28-3 going into half. It's a different game, but man, we willed ourselves to win that game. I can't give enough credit to my teammates. They bailed me out. It's just winning a game like that, man, in my home state. It's unbelievable.
Super excited for him just because the relationship we have and knowing what type of player, his capability and what he does on a day-to-day basis. That's nothing. You get an interception, he has a great mindset. So next play drive, I'm super excited to see him go out there.
Quinshon Judkins said it really came down to their discipline.
It shows how disciplined and how much those guys came into play and the mindset they came into this game with. And those guys came prepared, and Coach Fry did a great job of preparing those guys for this weekend, having all the tools and giving them all the tools to come out and perform.
With Zen Mikowski unavailable, the Buckeyes were down to their third option at left tackle, moving Donovan Jackson over from guard to play a position he hasn't played since high school. So why not get your first start in a top 5 matchup on the road against a powerful Penn State pass rush? Because Donovan said he knew that Penn State has one of the best rushers in Abdul Carter.
I knew coming into this game they had probably one of the best rushers outside of us. So I knew I had to be on my P's and Q's for sure. Outside of my position, it is what it is. I knew once the situation arose, I may have had to play tackle. I haven't played it since high school, but I was like, you know what? Played it once, I can play it again. It's a different personnel you go up against. At guard, you're going against guys who are about 300 plus, and when you pass that, you take 2 steps and they're running into your face, trying to bull rush or work a move on you. At tackle, man, you're in an island almost, and you're going against guys who are as fast as, if not as fast as wideouts. You're going against guys who, probably for me at least, probably 50 pounds less than me. So I just had to get out my stance a little bit and see what I could do on the edge. But it's definitely not the same position. I'm not saying I had a Herculean performance by any means, but I had help by a lot of guys get me in the right spot. But I was proud of what we did on the field, and so we can take this momentum and keep going.
Donovan gave a lot of credit for the defense helping him at practice all week.
I got great preparation this week, a lot of help from the defense. I want to shout out CJ Hicks, JT, Jack, Arvell, all those guys that really helped me try to get my feet back at tackle, try to make me as prepared as I can be. But it's great to win in these type of environments. It wasn't easy. We had to get out the mud a little bit. But, at the end of the day, it's a win column. So that's what we're happy about.
Tuimoloau gave the best defensive performance arguably in all of college football history just 2 years ago against Penn State. And he said that going up against the O-line all week, he was proud of how they were able to execute in this big of a game.
Tuesday, Wednesday, we're giving each other great looks. They got us better, we got them better, and I think they did what they needed to do, man. They were playing physical. They gave Will a lot of great time to throw the ball, and they're all blocked today.
The Buckeyes showed up when they needed to.
Moments, if you shy away from those moments, then you're not here to play Big Ten football. For us, we solidify who the silver bullets are and what we're capable of. I think we're more so focused on just what we had to do. We all had a job to do, and we all if one person just went out their way to try to make a play, then there's open gaps. But we were just staying disciplined, staying 11 strong, and just continue to hold our ground.
After Oregon, Ryan Day took accountability and put the loss on himself. But today he says it comes down to execution, and the guys, they have to execute.
Think about last week, we had it on the 1, and then we get the interception by Igbenogson, going at the end of the half, and then you add this one into it. So it shows you that there's a grit, there's a toughness, there's a never give up, give me an inch, I'm going to defend it type mentality. You got to give Jim and the entire staff credit on defense for their preparation going into this game. Penn State does an excellent job of changing formations, motionings, different looks. They got Warren back there at quarterback, and looks like he's about in on that play, and they it's just short. And we found a way to get the stand. So but it comes down to the players. Coaches can put you in a situation, but the players got to go do it. They did it, and I'm proud of them.
The Buckeyes leave Happy Valley happy with a ranked road win. They already started to enjoy the moment on the field after the game, but they will start preparations for Purdue next week at home.